Hello, it's Crafty Carol here again with another little video, and I wanted to show off today a little technique, but also using the gorgeous Hippest Hippos stamp set, which is free with Celebration. So any £45 order, you can order an item from the Celebration catalogue, and the hippos come. There is a matching set of dies for a £90 order as well, and they make a lovely set to have. Gus thinks so too. I think that's what's going on in the background. But I wanted today to just talk about making cards and how you can get inspiration. Now, obviously, you can look on Pinterest and things like that. That's always a good place to look. And on Facebook, you'll see lots. But sometimes it's a good idea to use a layout. And this is a sort of fairly typical layout. Shows elements that you can put together on a card in all sorts of different ways. But this one has a circle element, a rectangle element, and a little sentiment element. Really simple layout, but just using that you can make a load of cards. So I wanted to show you what I've done with the lovely Hippest Hippos set and the lovely ink colours. So I have here 3 cards, all slightly different, but all using that same layout. So we've got, I've used a vellum circle, which I've used on all the cards, then different hippos, well, 2 are the same there. There are 3 in the set, 3 different hippos. So I've used that one twice. There I've used little, some ribbon behind that one. I've used some twine behind that one, added some gems on that, different sentiments on the bottom. And this is how you can sort of make up sets of cards. So I've just decorated the inside, put a hippo on each of the insides to match the one on the outside. So that's 2 there, similar. And then I've got one in a boat here. That's quite a nice one. So I thought I'd make up another couple to show you another couple. And that layout, of course, we've got another one here. This is using gorgeous sweet sorbet. And let me just make it up for you and show. So again, I've already die cut out and coloured the hippos. Use the stamping blends. You can see how to use those in a different video, but I didn't want to waste time just colouring. It's not actually much fun watching people colouring in my view. So I've done all the colouring already. And I've just used the same sweet sorbet colours around this hippo's ballerina skirt. Otherwise I've used crumb cake, the dark and light crumb cake for the chest. Didn't want it all to be grey. And then I've used 2 smoky slates, light and dark smoky slate, for the rest of the hippo. Haven't coloured in the nails. You could do, I haven't. So that's my inside. I'm going to make the outside just by putting this piece of DSP. This is the matching in colour DSP. So we know the colours coordinate. It's one of the things I love about Stampin' Up, that you can get colours coordinating like that, which is just brilliant. So I'm going to stick this on the front. And again, it's just in the middle. Actually, you don't need to worry too much about size. You can cut them however you want. Oops, it's not very straight. Let's just try that again. Beauty of Tombow, it always allows you to move it around, thank goodness, before it finally sticks down. So just sticking that on the centre, just like the layout that we used. See how it's very similar to that. I've got my rectangle and then my circle on top, and I've got my sentiment across the bottom, and I'm going to decorate the circle. So let me I just want to use my bone folder just to make that sit down a little bit more. There we go. So the vellum circle I've cut out with one of the little stitch shaped dies, which are lovely, and I'm going to stick that on there. Now, glue behind vellum, it does show. So if I just put the glue where I'm going to put the image, you can't see it. So I'm going to, generally I want my image in the centre, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the centre like that, just enough to hold this down. And you'll see that it shows through the vellum. So you do have to be careful not to put glue where you want it to be seen, or you need to smear the glue all over the back so that it's the same all the time. So there's my elements. Then I've got my ballerina, and I decided to have my, is she a ballerina or what is she? I don't know. And she's going to stand on this. And I want the halo to be like a spotlight on her. So I'm going to stick my, what is it? I don't know. Barrel, whatever she's standing on, at the bottom here. I'm probably just going to stick that on with glue, actually. So stick that on with a little bit of Tombow. So I'm having this across the bottom here, and then that's just about straight, isn't it? I think can't lean across enough. And then I'm going to put just a couple of dimensionals on the back of my hippo. my dancing hippo. And you'll see how it then covers up. So she's going to be dancing on top of the barrel. There we go. And you see how it covers up any glue that I've put for the vellum sheet. And then we can finally just add some dimensionals on the sentiment here. And we'll have that one at the bottom there. So you can see how it matches the layout that I chose to use for these cards, but they're still it's a very different card from the others I showed you. So I'm going to make one more just to show you. So that's my fourth one out of 5. I'm using all of the in colours. This one I've already started. I've stuck the DSP on the front. I've stuck the one in the inside, and you'll see I've turned this round. I'm going to do this as a landscape card, and that's what you can do with any layout. I don't need to have it as a portrait. I can have it as a landscape and do it this way. Obviously, we'll change the shape of that, as you'll see when I put it on. So again, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the centre of the vellum. I'm going to have it over this side. You could obviously have it over either side, it doesn't matter. And then I have my sentiment, and I've got my little chap. He's going to be in a boat. There's all sorts of dies you get with this set. I showed you the set, but not the dies, actually. Let me just briefly show you the dies. I always keep them in. So we have a die that cuts out each of the hippos, but we've got a lot of other elements as well. We've got this bucket, or whatever it is, that I've got my dancing hippo standing on. I've got a little boat. There's actually splashy waves if I wanted to cut a bit of those out and make little splashes. There's, I don't know, it's a leaf or a frog's leg, I'm not sure. Different flowers, an umbrella, some waves, some glasses, some goggles, a snorkel, a little hat, a little shamrock, I suppose. I don't know what that is, shamrock, I think. Little tiny little things. They're little flowers. Then I've got the hearts, and obviously it cuts out the shapes anyway as well of the hippos too. So there's a load of dies coming. It's a lovely set. I could play with it even more, but I'm keeping these relatively simple because it's really to demonstrate this idea of using a card layout. So if I put this one together, again, I'm going to have a couple of dimensionals on my hippo, and I'm going to have one in the middle of the boat, and I'll show you what I do with the boat, and probably one will do on the sentiment. So I'll put the sentiment on first, and that can go there. And then the boat, what I'm going to do with it is I'm just going to very gently just squeeze the edges a little bit so it's slightly curved, and then my dimensional in the middle I can put on, which I really ought to put it on after I put my hippo on. Let me put my hippo on first. So there's my hippo, so he can sit in the middle of there. There we go. And then I'll put the boat so that he's basically standing in the boat. There we go, lovely. And there's the fifth one. So I've got one in each of the beautiful new, this year, I've got bits of dimensional everywhere. I'll sort those out in a minute. So hopefully I'll get most of these in shot. So I've got my 2 boat ones there. Then I've got the one we just made, the little ballerina standing on the tub. Then I've got 2 that I've used decoration behind the hippo with the flower. So these are all the cards I've made in all the beautiful in colours. Hopefully you can see most of those in the shot. Hang on, move it down a bit, then you can see them, I hope. So these are the cards I've made, and I hope you have a go at using a card layout to design your cards. And this is going to be, obviously, just to remind everybody, always stamp your envelopes as well. So I've stamped my envelopes too. I might put some sentiments inside as well, haven't decided yet, but these are fairly general greetings. So I think it would make a nice set for somebody for Christmas, because we've got to start thinking about Christmas. I'll be back with some Christmas ideas very soon. But if you've enjoyed this, then please do subscribe to the channel. And if you go to my website, craftycarolscards.co.uk, you'll find the instructions for all of these cards and all sorts of other information there. Have a good browse. And you can sign up for my email list to find out what I'll be doing next. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.